Welcome to Seeker's Path Tarot. This is a video on the history of tarot. Make sure to subscribe after this video. The history of tarot is complex and multifaceted, with roots in several different cultures and time periods. The earliest known tarot decks date back to the 15th century in Europe, but the roots of tarot may be traced back to ancient Egypt, China, and India. Tarot cards were first used in Italy in the 15th century as a game, similar to the modern game of bridge. The earliest known tarot deck was created in 1430 for the Visconti Sforza family in Milan, Italy. These early decks were hand-painted and often commissioned by wealthy families as a status symbol. They were used in games and were not associated with divination or any kind of spiritual practices at that time. During the 18th century, tarot began to be used for divination and fortune-telling. It was around this time that the tarot became associated with the occult and mysticism. Antoine Court, a French Freemason, wrote a book in 1781 claiming that tarot was of ancient Egyptian origin and that the symbols on the cards had deep occult and astrological significance. This idea was taken up by many occultists and esotericists of the time, who began to develop new interpretations and uses for the tarot. In the late 18th century and early 19th centuries, tarot became popular among the upper classes in France and England, and many different tarot decks were created during this time. One of the most famous tarot decks from this period is the Waite deck, created by A.E. Waite and illustrated by Pamela Colman Smith in 1909. This deck is still widely used today and is considered one of the most popular tarot decks for divination and fortune-telling. The Rider-Waite deck is considered a key point of the evolution of tarot, as it introduced a more detailed and symbolic imagery, which made it easier for use in divination and self-reflection. In the early 20th century, the Golden Dawn, a secret society of occultists and esoterists, made extensive use of the tarot. They developed a complex system of correspondences and associations between the tarot and other occult systems such as astrology, Kabbalah, and Hermeticism, which further expanded the possibilities of tarot interpretation and use. During the 20th century, tarot became popular in the United States, thanks in part to the work of occultists such as Aleister Crowley and Paul Foster Case. Crowley, in particular, had a profound influence on tarot, developing a new tarot deck, the Thoth Tarot, which incorporated many of his own teachings and ideas about the tarot. Tarot also played an important role in the counterculture of the 1960s and 1970s, and many new tarot decks were created during this time, with a more modern and experimental approach. This was a time where a lot of people were searching for alternative ways to understand the world, and many turned to the tarot as a tool of self-discovery and personal growth. In recent years, the tarot have found a wider audience and are used by people from all walks of life, not just those with an interest in the occult or spirituality. Tarot is now used for a wide variety of purposes, including self-improvement, personal growth, and spiritual development. Many people find it useful as a tool for gaining insight and clarity into their lives, and it can also be used as a tool for meditation, visualization, and affirmation. Today there are many different types of tarot decks available, each with its own unique symbolism and imagery. Some decks are based on more traditional designs, while others are more modern and experimental, incorporating new concepts and ideas. There are tarot decks that focus on different themes, such as fantasy, mythology, nature, and many other subjects. This allows to pick a deck that speaks to the user's personal interests and needs. Some decks are meant to be used for divination and fortune telling, while others are intended for self-reflection and personal growth. Overall, the many different types of tarot decks available today reflect the diversity and adaptability of this ancient tool and its ability to evolve and adapt to modern times. Thank you for listening to this video. Please subscribe to the channel and check out our new